Hi guys, Retro Trek Ralph here. I've got a... right. A little while ago I got the Millennium Falcon for Christmas, and yes, it's a nice model when it's done. It's an absolute pain in the bottom, shall we say, to actually make, but it's well worth the effort and the time put in. However, when it's on the floor, so it's kind of like that sort of shape. When it's on the floor, you're fine. Actually, it might be that with the cockpit, or is it the other side? Oh no, doesn't matter. Right, so it's on the side, on its legs, fine. It takes up a lot of area. The vertical stand, which was actually designed by Efferman, and the instructions I have in front of me that you can get on the internet quite easily, is from Lucio Switch, copyrighted. But it shows it's all the Lego Technic stuff which comes out with this sort of shape, and the Millennium Falcon kind of fits sideways on top of this, which is, it takes up less worktop sort of space, but it kind of gives it a lot more height to it. But it's supposed to be quite secure, being held in by these pins here. I've seen videos for this and it does look okay. I think you have to take landing gear off, but I've got the instruction in front. Let's build this and see if we can do anything. It might actually go completely wrong. I've got 407 pieces. It's for 6+ and it's for the 75192. Now, I got this from China. I've got a slight problem with it from China. I didn't buy the pieces from anywhere in the UK, couldn't find anywhere that was selling them. China was on Amazon. They took a little bit of a while to deliver. So before we do anything, let's open up and see what's inside. Right. Very long bag. Very long bag. Bag with the support. Lots of blue bits. Lots of black bits. Lots of grey bits. These just all sorts. And longer, bigger bits. Ah, that's quite good. You have actually got the instructions I have in front of me, exactly the same here. So they've printed them off, ready for you to work on. And I'm going to just double check. Let's look on page 3 on here. I've got the base and 2 supports going up. Start with, that is, it's showing page 3 on the PDF, but it is actually page 2. It's just not counting, whoever's printed this off originally has not counted the front page, which is fine. And it will also hopefully end up like that. I don't know if it will. I've not got, I've seen videos, like I said, I've seen videos, and it is quite secure as it is. It's terrifying me at the moment, with it being on the workbench behind me, that anything's going to fall off the bookshelves behind me, that it's going to destroy it. So, I'm not 100% certain, but it does look fine. It looks like it might work. I don't know. So, right, the only difference I've got between the magazine, the printed, and the PDF, is the PDF says 21 pages, this has got 19, although 20, but it's showing a parts list as well of what you need. So you need 4 of them, Right, I need to get some pots. I'm going to put these in their own pots as is. Oh, there's a hell of a lot of them. A lot of connecting going on here. So, yeah, let's start this, shall we? halfway point here now. Well, it's just under halfway, but I've got to make another one of these, so you've just seen it being made, and I won't show you that again. I'll spare you that part. But it did tell you ×2 right at the bloody end. Right, so I've got to go through all this again. There were problems like this bit. It doesn't show you on any of the pictures that... Actually, it still doesn't. On this... Right, look. This piece comes across here and doesn't go into there. It's still got the blue bit showing there, even though it connects into it. That's just really, really weird. Right there, with my finger. But it does fit there, it does go there. That's what one of the problems were. For some reason, I can't understand why every so often it just... Either I was reading the diagram wrong, or it's just jumped around a lot. I mean, it's not bad. There's a lot of bendy flex. I don't know if it's down to the type of Lego, it's Chinese rip-off Lego, or whether or not it's down to, I don't know, possibly maybe a bit different type of plastic. But it looks like it should hold, but there is a bit of a flex to it. Hopefully that will have got rid of by having two, and then cross members in the middle, but I've got to make another one of these again. There's lots of problems. It doesn't really show you a lot of things, how exactly they go in. It just doesn't make certain sense. Plus I've got one of these. It doesn't really hold that crossbeam sort of support bit properly. All the others are on there all right. It's the back of this part only, not the stud. But it kind of may need a little bit of craggle, shall we say. So let me get on with making a second one. Oh, I should have done that. I could have done side by side. It told me earlier. I mean, the other one has got, I think the other side I have two of these on, and I don't know where it connects. I'm sure there's two on one side and one on the other, but according to instructions, you've got one of those. So there's obviously mods that you do to the second one, the first one, or whatever. So, alright, let me make a second one without a camera attached to it, and then suddenly it'll be... Yeah, we'll have two of them. Ta-da! If by magic the second one appears. Right. No problems with that one. So it's obviously me. So that's not an issue. Right, let's get on with doing this. There's cross members to do, because these stand like that, or like that, and there's cross beams go here, and bits and bats go on. I was looking at these, and I just said before about these wanting, there's two up here. There isn't. The top parts, the top do only have one of these red studs, which go in, and then obviously you push it into the piece anyway. But I can leave that for the time being anyway. It's actually these parts down here. One of these, I think this one has two, and this one only has the one in the middle. So I was wrong on that, but it kind of goes and sits on here, and the studs go in and just holds it in place, and hopefully. But I don't fully understand what everything on here is on for. There's like these black parts on here. I don't know what they're on for. I think they're probably for doing the cross beams anyway, so that's that. Okay, let's get on with doing the rest of this, shall we? Have the finished stand. Now, mounting it is going to be a different thing altogether. So, don't know why they're there. Maybe the weight of something connects onto there. It's kind of, it's not exactly structural, but maybe with these bricks here and there does give this a bit more strength when it's on the Falcon. Coats up a little bit on the bottom, but nothing major. Everything seems fine. Just there's a lot of flags, but it's also worrying that there's a hell of a lot of these pieces left. There's 4 of them left and 2 of them, a little cross threaded and a push in. So it's probably down to they've just been chucked in as loads and loads of pieces, but yeah. Before I mount, I think I can look for different places where I can fit them. It's like on here. I could do with maybe strengthening that up a little bit. It doesn't need it, but maybe I'll have a go at strengthening. They're there for no reason, so why not? And I could add a few in. The blue ones, I don't know. Maybe I could put extras inside like there if it does look like it's a bit iffy. Yeah, I think I could quite easily connect up certain parts, like even up here. Connect up bits if it looks like it's anything. It's not. I'm not going to be able to do anything to stop it flexing in the middle. I could do with attaching this cross beam here with these bits, but not with them parts. To make it a bit more rigid. I mean, maybe it needs to be like this, but again, it's not Lego. It is the cheaper stuff. It should hopefully work. Right. Now I'm going to try and fit it to the Falcon. So that's another bit. So we'll have a go at that and see what happens. I'll probably actually fit it to the Falcon, then I'll show you the Falcon afterwards, because I don't want to do a yeah, here's a video, here's my head, this will fit on where it's supposed to, but I need to get instructions for exactly how it fits. And there's nothing, this is just how the stand actually goes together and not how it fits. I mean, yes, it's going to go and slot onto these three red ones and possibly onto there, so I might need to keep those up and out of the way to start with. Mount the Falcon and then have to see what's what. Yeah, we'll look into how it fits in, and I'll get this installed on the underside of the Falcon and we'll go from there. Right, stand is on. This is kind of the next day to the next day of the stand being on. Right, so let me go through to start with. If you remember before, there were, I think it was this connection down here, there was either one or there was two over here, depending on which way you want to position this. If you want the cockpit down, you have two on this side, and then you have one on the opposite. Cockpit up in the air, it will obviously go for the other connections up there, so it will be flipped anyway. So you need to move the red pins, which you can barely see in there, there they are, to the centre if it's the cockpit down on the back, or the two on the back on the if the cockpit's in the air. But it's all on, it's all kind of structural, and it is better than what it was. It was very wobbly to start with. There is a little bit of wobble in the actual model itself, but once it's up and running and sat doing its thing, I would recommend, right, actually I'll go through recommendations in a few minutes anyway, but I just want to show you exactly where things are. The top parts are easy enough anyway. They've got one singular red pin goes in there and clicks into, pushes down, clicks into place. You need to whittle it down a little bit, get the right place, right angle, and then you're fine. Some people aren't, oh, I'm not either. Some people can't get these two little blocks here to fit right, and neither can I. So they're not actually there, they're just resting. I can't get you in there. There. They're just resting on top of it, it won't go in. The other side actually, strangely enough, let me get on this side if I can get in. It actually is into the model, whereas the other side isn't. So maybe I can just waddle. Actually, to be honest, I can see it there. They're just missing the holes where the Lego goes, but I'm not bothered. It's resting, I'm happy, that's fine to where it is. So you can't put all the landing gear legs on. You can put the top three and the front one on. The bottom, front two at least, you can't do. The back one will go in. But I've just mounted these on the back. They're not sticking out further than what the actual model is when it's been up and done anyway. So they're kind of out of the way. I could just put them back in the box. Could do anything, but if I ever want to take this down, it's quick to get hold of it. But yeah, there's the back end of the Falcon. all ready and done. Now, I've got a PDF file behind me on that screen for the simple reason the instructions are in the box. And I'll come to that in a second. I'm going to shift this over to another, either turn it round or I'm going to move this to another table. But I'll show you exactly what I mean by having the instructions in front of you. So give me a second, I'll have a quick cut. Right, there it is. Top view, cockpit down. I don't know why I wanted the cockpit down. I mean, when it's on the bookshelf, which is kind of behind where I'm stood now, I don't know. There was not much of a choice there. There was kind of just to get on with it and do it. My biggest problem is you need instructions because you need to take off as many of these top panels as possible. So once you get in to move it, to maneuver around certain things, these will probably break anyway, but it's easier to get these out of the way, done, cockpit off, well, that part of the cockpit off, this section here off, the antenna, everything you can get off, which is removable for the playset underneath, take off. I mean, this obviously center section comes off anyway, which just slides in place. But I had a problem with this room at the front of here. I took everything off, I grabbed hold of the wrong part and the doorway just dissolved on me, which is kind of, let me point to you, inside here. Can't get any light in there, unfortunately, the angle's wrong from a light above the table. But that was completely in lots of pieces, had to find instructions to get on with it. There was also little parts as well I grabbed hold of with part of the mandible, wasn't sure about pieces over here. This part came out as well. It's very awkward to do. Once it's done, then you've got a sense of achievement there. But it's kind of, there are lots of mods I want to do with this. The biggest problem I find with this at the moment is with the on its side, there's too much. These don't fit. Any of the panels don't seem to fit right, and they never did when they were on the ground anyway. There's probably, if I wanted this as just a standalone model to do nothing with, then perhaps I could just put some Lego bricks behind and then try and get them in place. And there's possibly areas I could easily get to. I mean, the gap lines are absolutely ridiculous, but that's not really the point. This is a Lego ship. Yeah, the upgrades on this are absolutely phenomenal. I've been reading up all sorts of things to do on this. I mean, there's parts where you've got the engines at the back. There's actually a list of things you can get to make that even better than what it is. The engines, these parts as well, the vents, these are meant to be pointing backwards. These are meant to be off a little bit. These are never meant to be down at this angle. But there are kits and ideas that you can do. Just basically Lego. Yeah, it's Lego ideas, or it's not Lego, the website. I don't know what the website is, to be honest. But it's just little ideas what people have been coming out with to make these even better. But at the minute, I'm going to leave it as is and attempt to consider what to do next. Whether or not I'd like to light it. I have a lot of Star Trek models that I have already lit, and it's an interesting idea to do. But at the minute, I'm just going to, well, see what happens. I mean, I've got to fit it on a bookshelf behind me. I'm not sure it's actually going to fit. So, I mean, it's done. That's all I'm bothered about at the moment. It's actually done. So, I'm quite happy with it. I mean, the figures will go on somehow. I don't know, let's put them back onto the top of the ship as it is, but then they'll be hanging off. But we'll see what happens. So anyway, that's the stand for this. Yeah, you could probably get better Lego parts from a normal Lego dealer. They were obviously the Chinese crappy ones anyway. They're recopied, probably too much polypropylene than plastic in the mix anyway. That's what gives it a bit more flex, but it has worked. So yeah, it's worked for me so far, but it's a nightmare to move this thing anyway. So once it's on a shelf and done and out of the way, I will be happy. So anyway, with that, as usual, I can't even get that to stand up. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on social media if you want to help out the channel, to be a Patreon, or to donate something, anything. I don't care if it's another Lego kit, that's fine. Anything and everything. I do lots of Star Trek stuff, Star Wars, tech stuff with like Spectrums and Ataris and stuff like that. So if you want to help out the channel, please get in touch. The links are down below. If not, then the channel description for email and other links and stuff. Other than that, I'll see you in another video. Bye for now. One final bit, it wouldn't fit on the shelf, it's too long, but that's not the end of it. It's behind me on the display behind, so that's fine. All done, all sorted, and absolutely weighs a ton. Thanks for watching.